There are hard days coming.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 real-life wizards of the world.
Whatever the truth, his image has become a modern icon of evil and darkness.
You have summoned the Prince of Temptation. For what purpose?
I think Gerald felt he was a nothing less than a sacred mission, and now he had found his audience.
For this list, we're looking at the most famous, intriguing, and influential purported magic users in history. We will be including faith healers, spirit mediums, alchemists, and self-described magicians. If we forgot someone important, please enchant us with your knowledge in the comments. Number 10. Chaim Shmuel Jacob Falk. Better known as the Baal Shem of London, Chaim Falk was a mysterious rabbi of uncertain origins, either Bavaria or Podolia in modern-day Ukraine. In Westphalia, Germany, he was almost burned at the stake, but found refuge with a German count and eventually moved to London. Falk practiced various mystic arts, including alchemy and practical Kabbalah. He gave frequent demonstrations of his magical abilities, giving rise to numerous legends. It was said he could discover gold underground, keep candles lit for an impossible duration, and even put out a fire at a synagogue by writing in Hebrew on the door. Number 9. Abeno Seimei.
おや残念。せっかく遠い時空を超えてきたというのに、ここでもその名に縛られる。
Sometimes described as the Japanese equivalent of Merlin, Abeno Seimei was an onmyoji, or spiritual diviner, who advised emperors during the Heian period. In addition to advising the emperor on spiritual matters, Seimei also conducted exorcisms, warded off evil spirits, and was supposedly skilled at locating lost objects. Like most onmyoji, Seimei also divined the future. After his death, numerous folk tales sprang up about him, including that he was half kitsune, or fox spirit, on his mother's side. One has to wonder if he foresaw just how great his reputation would become. Number 8. Dion Fortune. A British occultist during the early 20th century, Dion Fortune was one of the foremost female magic practitioners of her time. Born Violet Firth, Fortune became involved in several spiritual groups, including Alpha A Omega, a daughter organization of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. She also co-founded one of her own, the Fraternity of the Inner Light, which still exists today. Fortune was a prolific writer and infused her own ideas on occultism in both her fiction and non-fiction works. Although a practicing medium, Fortune claimed that she did not contact deceased spirits, but instead enlightened masters who had ascended to a higher state of being.
Great God. Spirits from the other side.
Number 7. Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa von Nettesheim. A literal Renaissance man, Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa had many talents, including occult research. The German polymath is best known for writing occult books, particularly his 3 books of occult philosophy, which include information on magical disciplines such as alchemy, scrying, and the 4 classical elements. Agrippa also developed a celestial alphabet, which can supposedly be used to converse with angels.
I knew we'd send you, Gabriel. You were always so eager to please him.
Unsurprisingly, he had several conflicts with the church, though he was never formally persecuted. Towards the end of his life, however, he appeared to recant at least some of his earlier writings, warning against the, quote, deceits of devils.
You have summoned the Prince of Temptation. For what purpose?
Oh, shit.
Number 6. John Dee. Another Renaissance man, John Dee was a British scholar whose pursuits included both science and magic. An advisor to Queen Elizabeth I, Dee acted as the court astronomer.
Something as we can do. There are hard days coming.
However, his studies also included alchemy and divination. After leaving the Queen's service, Dee traveled Europe with another well-known occultist, Edward Kelly. Together, they developed the Enochian language, another proposed language of the angels.
Your ego is astounding.
Although the duo performed magic for royalty all over Europe, Dee's focus on contacting angelic beings brought him back to England, where he eventually died destitute. Number 5. Gerald Gardner. There's a good chance you've heard of this Wiccan pioneer's most famous work, the Book of Shadows. An English civil servant, Gerald Gardner found a new purpose after retirement, teaching a version of the pagan faith that he claimed came from the secretive, mysterious New Forest Coven. In penning his spellbook, The Book of Shadows, he took ideas from other occultists such as Aleister Crowley as well as Freemason rituals.
I think Gerald felt he was on nothing less than a sacred mission, and now he had found his audience.
Gardner also founded the Bricket Wood Coven, wrote several other books on witchcraft, and curated a museum about the subject, helping spread his beliefs to much of the English-speaking world.
Magic changed Gerald's life. It gave him a vision of a new type of religion, and it drove him to push back the boundaries of the possible.
Number 4. Éliphas Lévi. Born Alphonse Louis Constant, Éliphas Lévi was an influential French occultist, sage, socialist, and pan-humanist. As a young man, he trained to become a Catholic priest, but left the priesthood and dedicated his energy towards revolutionary social change. In his middle years, he became a ceremonial magician and wrote extensively on magic, with a particular interest in tarot. He stood out as an independent thinker who eschewed ideas like spiritualism and reincarnation and retained an attachment to Catholic teachings. It was this divergence from his contemporaries that made him so popular and influential. Number 3. Helena Blavatsky.
She was a genius. Nobody before her had the audacity to try to do a global reinterpretation of spirituality the way that she did.
A controversial figure, Helena Blavatsky was a Russian spiritualist and the founder of the esoteric religion Theosophy. Well-traveled, Blavatsky first gained fame in the United States as a spirit medium. She claimed that she could contact elementals that inhabited the psychic shells of the deceased.
Although very interested in spiritualism, HPB's understanding of the phenomena was somewhat different than her fellow mediums. But she did explore this world and produced many manifestations.
Her demonstrations of occult phenomena generated both excitement and accusations that she was a fraud.
What I say is this: you do not know me, for whatever there is inside, it is not what you think it is.
During her life, she published several books detailing her theosophical outlook, which merged occult beliefs with ancient teachings from both the West and East. Her teachings proved immensely influential, especially in the New Age movement. Number 2. Grigory Rasputin. You don't need psychic powers to have seen this one coming. This Russian mystic and faith healer is famous, or infamous, for his involvement with the last royal family of Russia.
Rasputin was instrumental in wiping out the 300-year-old dynasty and changing the history of Russia forever.
Grigory Rasputin gained tremendous influence due to his purported ability to heal the Romanov royal heir Alexei of hemophilia. It's also been claimed that he was able to hypnotize people. But the most astonishing tales are those surrounding his death. Although the exact circumstances of his murder remain unsolved, the man was supposedly poisoned multiple times and shot, and still didn't die.
With a violent movement, Rasputin jumped to his feet. This dying, poisoned, shot-ridden creature, on all fours, made his way up the staircase and out into the courtyard.
While further gunshots did do him in, the fact that it took so much to kill him certainly feels supernatural.
No one can be sure whether Rasputin was simply a misunderstood peasant or a devil in the flesh. Whatever the truth, his image has become a modern icon of evil and darkness.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. Hugh Draper. Charged with sorcery, he carved an astrological map in his cell. Israel Regardie. Once Aleister Crowley's secretary, he revealed secret rituals to the world. Gerald en Cause, also known as Papus, hypnotist and popularizer of modern occultism. Theophrastus von Hohenheim, also known as Paracelsus. This Swiss alchemist created the alphabet of the Magi. Cora L.V. Scott, an American spiritualist who delivered lectures in a trance. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Aleister Crowley. The quintessential modern occultist, Crowley took inspiration from those who came before him and exerted a strong influence over those who came after. After joining the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, the English occultist went on to found his own religious movement, Thelema. Declaring himself the prophet of a new age, he preached the maxim, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law." A prolific writer, he penned numerous books and essays filled with rituals and magic, spelled with a CK, including various forms of sex magic. His writings also touch on banishing and summoning spirits, astral projection, and divination, just to name a few. Crowley's extensive writings, as well as his opponents' attempts to demonize him, have led to lasting fame and study.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.